So a friend here likes hunting POTA. He's a hunter, and he wants quite often a POTA activator chooses a frequency that is too close to a scheduled net and is being blown out by the net operators that use a kilowatt or more. I feel sorry for that activator who might not be hearing the net going on. Is there a frequency guide available that shows an activator which frequencies and times to steer clear from while activating? Well, everyone needs to share the frequencies they're licensed for, but some of these nets have operated on the same frequency for decades. I've asked the same question 3 years ago on a POTA Facebook page, and never really come up with an answer. So
there ain't.
So
a good example was 2 weeks ago when I operated, I found a good frequency in 14 or on 20 meters. Called 3 times, frequency in use, and I started working it, and I got 4 or 5 calls. And after about 10, 15 minutes, I started hearing some squawking in the background.
Yep.
Sure enough, a net just faded in. So it's just how the game is played, You're the little guy. You're going to kind of have to juggle a little bit to get around that.
Yeah.
Every guide I've ever seen for nets, I mean, a lot of the times they're old. They're in ASCII format, and they're on some geospace website that's still on Yahoo now.
They were probably shared via teletype all these years.
Right, so. Someone got them off a BB or a bulletin board system, right? Yeah. I mean, there's the major nets that you'll find, but there's so many nets that you're just going to kind of have to play it by ear.
There's some frequencies that you kind of steer clear from, and I've learned, I've learned from experience where nets usually will pop up like 14.300. That's the Maritime net. You stay away from that one.
14.230. I mean, that's where all the SoulScan TV is.
Yep, 14.230. Yeah.
7,200. Don't go there for any reason. Any reason. Remember that scene in The Lion King? What's that dark spot out there, Father? That's 7,200.
200.
Never go there.
Yeah, if
never go to 7,200.
Yeah, if you're in the Midwest, on 40 meters, 7,258. 72.
MidcCarz. Yep.
Yeah, MidcCarz and SouthCarz 7,255.
But MidcCarz and SouthCarz, if you want to get a quick signal report and make sure your radio's working, check in there real quick.
Oh, yeah.
By all means. And you don't necessarily have to say it's a POTA contact to log the damn contact, right? That's the key.
True.
You could be working another contest, and you could log them. As long as you're still following the POTA rules, those count for POTA. So
I've checked into MidcCarz to test a new an antenna or radio and get a signal report. They're always helpful. It's 14.290. Nets usually pop up on there. 322, 323, I think it is. But it depends on the time of the day. So you kind of you usually if you're working your activation, and then all of a sudden somebody a kilohertz away starts coming in, really loud. It's what oftentimes I'll see if I can shift down, 1 or 2 kc or something like that. So it's I don't get into a fight with nets. If a net wants to start up, I'll move. That's not something
that's a match that just no one's going to win.
Yeah.
The other thing too, at night on 40 meters, you get about 7,200 or 7,220. So 7,220, 7,230, 7,240. That's a nice little spot to sit in there for some like late shift activations on 40 meters. If you get below 7,200, there's nets there, and then you get before 7175, and then that is all extra class,
extra stuff. Yeah,
in Europe and in Asia, because outside of our region, that we're the only region that goes to 7,300. Everyone else has to stop at 72. So 7175 to 7200, like those stations that are trying to work DX that are like general class stations, all plop right in there. So just stay out of that section.
Especially in the evening hours. So yeah, in the daytime, in the mornings, I've had good luck in that area. But if for late shift stuff, you wanna find something above 7200. But then now you're battling the international broadcasters. So
you'll run into that too, and you ain't gonna win that battle by any means.
Nope.
But at least the shortwave broadcasters, there's a schedule. You can see that anytime. So.
Yeah, you can usually find an empty spot. So, good piece of advice. I try to avoid the top of the hour for starting and activation. That's when most net starts. That's really good. It's if you're that if a net's going to begin, it's usually at the top of the hour or maybe even the bottom of the hour. At the 30-minute mark. So it's that's if that's great advice there. But I know I've searched for net schedules and I've found a couple of lists, but nothing definitive. And
there will never be anything definitive. I mean, that's just pop up all any time. So
yep. So just if you get interfered, if you're receiving interference, just try to readjust.
Yep.
KB9VBR antennas are simple, effective, and affordable VHF and UHF antennas for amateur radio, MIRS, public safety, and GMRS. Made in the USA with quality parts. Get yours online at jpole-antenna.com.